All right, good morning, gentlemen. We're back to the NSL talk. It's been a busy morning so far for you guys.
Yes.
What's happening?
Well, we ended up late last night through to round 6, and then this morning early four-way was back on. So the girls have gone. The girls have gone up for round 7, the women's event, and the opens are basically almost through round 7. So, and I think they're going to go through to round 8 and then bring back the 8-way.
And it's a Thursday morning, so let's go back to yesterday and evaluate the second day of competition, rounds 4 to 6.
Well, I mean, I got to give the Italians a great job. They've climbed their way into 3rd place. They're tied with the Russians, about 5 points back from the Belgians. So I mean, the move of the day was probably by the Italians, and the Belgians have solidified 2nd place on both ends, and the French have definitely solidified 1st place.
Yeah.
It's still an open meet, but I mean the positions are kind of set right now.
It's kind of interesting with the Synapse, right? Because they 3 of them competed with the Russians in 2006, and now here they are back with the battling with the Russians for the bronze again, right?
Yeah, but I think it's a typical Russian meet. Unfortunately, they've lost. I think in the last round I saw a couple of points go. Also with video, Italy looks strong. You know, they're starting to show what they can do. So I agree with Joey. Italy really had a great move. And lower down the table in the Scandinavian group, I think the pro team had the meet of the day of the meet really as well.
For sure.
In the middle tail, incredible.
So is the Scandinavian Championship is over, or?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, Pro Team put in the work.
Yes.
They trained outside of Sweden, and they've been together for a couple of years. I mean, I've been coaching Pro Team at the basics off and on a little bit when they come. So have you actually? Since they were like 10-point average, and they've replaced 1 member, but they did the work. They trained down in Portugal, and you know they've done a lot of wind tunnel. And I mean, Swedish teams done 70 jumps. They tried to train in Sweden, and Norway's a brand new team, I believe. They just got picked. So.
Norway also showed some good stuff for sure, but I think under-trained really would be where they are. 1-year team, so it's difficult. It is difficult to excel.
Sweden had a funneled exit, and then they built the incorrect first point because they didn't get judged for and had a 9, I think it was. So we're trying to boost the spirits in the camp today.
Well, let's talk about round 5. I call it the penalty party.
Yes.
If you look at, did you know these numbers? Round 5, round 1, we had a total of 5 penalties in the open class. Round 2, total of 5. Round 3, 9. Round 4, 12. Round 5, 24 combined. And now in round 6, it was back to 9. What happened in round 5? Penalty party.
I saw quite a lot of center point. The judge on block 6. I saw the judges really, I think they were correct in most that I saw, that they were center point busts. I cannot speak for them all. And then some of the levels on the 6s and the 5s, the way they executed were just teams were, also with the memory, they weren't going together. And it's quite fast inters in between, you know, in between blocks to the next random or random to block. So as soon as you do synchronization, I think we just saw the reds coming up on the screen.
It's a fast jump with the double slot switcher. Both the front and back piece are slot switching, and it's a pretty fast sequence. And it was the exit. We had most funneled exits on that round as well.
I mean, the trouble was the monopod out the door and the subterminal, you know, for the camera angle.
The C and the 6.
Right.
It was C65.
Yeah. The Murphy flake out the door. Sorry, Murphy flake.
You were a jump ahead of yourself.
Yeah. So
the Murphy flake out the door caused a lot of trouble.
And then the center point issue. What did you think about the center point?
I think the judges, those that I saw, I was impressed. I thought the judges, when I saw it once and I checked it again, it looked correct. But I cannot always speak for, I didn't see all the jumps, but those that I thought the judges were on it.
I've got to go creep with the Belgians right now, so if you'll excuse me, we can either pause this or just keep going with him, but I have to go back to work. I got to go back to work.
I have time.
All right, well, we'll continue for a little while and then maybe catch up later with Joey. So that was we have not covered the UK Championship yet. So what's going on? Oh, you're not involved with the UK Championship?
Yeah, no, with Sonic Nuts. Sonic. I saw Fusion. All the UK teams had an on and off day. Again, there's some excellent individual talents in the teams, but I think also a lack of training makes it difficult for them. I know Fusion have picked up new members. Phobia also, they had some good scores on it. Sonic Nuts also one bad jump, but for the rest, it's almost Sonic Nuts. I think have established themselves almost 6 points clear of the rest, but they're still not. Although there's a good camaraderie in the British teams, no matter which team they're in, they're supporting each other. But I know each team, even Kaizen, weren't happy with the day. You know,
I know that Satori is following the action here very carefully.
I'm sure they are.
They're sad to be here. What happened actually? I mean, as far as I know, they would have liked to be here, but
they tried their best to be here. But I think I'm going to speak off the top of my head here from just reading through emails. When they had decided they wanted to go, apparently they were 1 day late. Yes, it's 1 day, but I do respect the BPA had already told 4 other teams that they could go, so it's a difficult situation. Do you give your national team the go-ahead go because they're going to gain invaluable meet experience, which I think that's the biggest thing that's sad for Satori not to be here. Yes, they would have maybe put a little bit more spice into this meet. To see what they could do. Could they chase one of the Russian teams or even Synapsi? Who knows? But the invaluable experience, what Great Britain has lost is they're now going to send a team to Russia next year with lacking one meet experience at a world
they have
championship.
The Shamrock still.
But yes, of course, and they will be there. I'm pretty certain. But what I can also understand from the BPA, they then would have to go to another team and said, yesterday we said you could go, and today we say no. So I think they stuck with their guns. So it's a win-win or lose-lose situation, really.
A few words quickly about with the French four-way, the female team. What do you think? 20.8 after
incredible. They really look good. They're actually starting to look more like the male team, and I don't mean it in any disrespect. They are moving so quick, and I said it to their coach today for both the French teams. They're looking very confident.
Yeah. What about the Chicas and Incognito are back into a race there? They looked for a while that Chicas wouldn't. The Chicas wouldn't let them come close, but now they are.
Yeah, and I think even Chicas on round 5, the penalty round, Chicas didn't have the great jump, but unfortunately Incognito had they lost 2 points on the exit, so they didn't have a bad jump. They landed and they weren't happy with their jump. They did have an interbust.
Joey's back.
Yeah, that was easy.
Talking about the girls right now.
Oh yes.
Incognito did have an interbust, and then unfortunately they lost 2 NJs out the door. But I know Chicas didn't have their greatest jump either. But then on the last jump, Incognito, they went to the boarding area knowing that they just lost 3 points in the previous round to the judges, as they call it. So they just went aggressive out the door, and they had a great round 6.
Yeah, so it's a race there again.
Yes.
They won round 6, Incognito.
Yes.
Yeah, they won by 2 points, right?
Yeah.
So they like the fast rounds, though.
Yeah, it was, and like I said, the Chicas are solid. So we've got, it's tough work for them because the next 2 rounds, 7 and 8, are 3 block jumps, and I don't expect any mistakes from the Chicas. There's too many jumps behind them, too much experience in that group.
Let's last thing. I think we're running out of time probably, and let's bring the US teams into the game in the open class. France, airspeed. Airspeed was pretty much ahead of everybody. Has France kind of, are they catching up? Are they on airspeed level?
I mean, without being here, without seeing the scores, I can't say. I haven't seen enough airspeed this year, and you can't say. The French are here and they're winning. You know, that's all you can say. That's all I can say.
I mean, the jumps that I've seen from the French, I would have to say it would be very hard for airspeed to pip them. They might shock us on 1 or 2 jumps, but I don't think on all the jumps that airspeed would get it. But as Joey says, they would have to be here. You can do it in training.
They'll do it in training.
And even then you might lose to them, but it's not a true reflection because here gives you that extra beats as well.
I'm sure they will give us the jumps. I have to ask Craig. Maybe they'll give us the jump. All right, gentlemen,
if they win, they'll give you the jump.
We'll do it again, probably maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow morning, but let's see how the day goes. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
No problem.